Welcome back to For Love of the Mouse. I am Bryson, and today I have a little bit of a different video for you, but we are continuing day 3 of our Mediterranean cruise, where we go to Florence and Pisa, Italy.
We only need the two of us together. I need only you in this crazy world. 'Cause we got love. I need only you here with me.
So before we get going here, make sure if you haven't done so already, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and ring that bell icon so you're notified whenever we put out new videos. Now, I said today's video is going to be a little bit different. On this trip, we went to a lot of places that were very touristy, very loud. It was very hard to talk. There was also a lot of religious places where even though I was allowed to film and do things like that, I didn't feel comfortable speaking while people were in a place of worship. So I just filmed, and I'm going to provide commentary, some facts, things about where we are, stuff like that. So that was what I meant by this is going to be a little bit of a different video. So there will be a lot of voiceover in this video, but plenty of footage of our actual trip to Florence and Pisa, where Crystal and I try to hold up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and we fail miserably. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's watch the video. Have fun. Comment down below. What's your favorite part of this trip? Let me know. So to start this day, Crystal and I started off like any other day. We started at Starbucks here, where we got our cold brews. Then we made our way after Starbucks to the Epic Theater. This is where all the excursions met. We met every time here. We were doing the Florence and Pisa on our own excursion. Essentially, it was our bus travel for this day. So after the theater, made our way out where we walked off the ship. These crates right here are the terminal that we are going to walk through, but we really got a good view of the ship. The first time we really got to see it on this trip. We made our way over to the buses where we met our excursion host, Janet, or your tour guide. She called herself our excursion host. So we got on the buses and we made our way through the Tuscany district of Italy on our way to Pisa, which was about 30 to 40 minutes is how long it took us to get there. But it was a beautiful drive, watching the vineyards, everything on the way there. It was just beautiful and breathtaking. Now, the bus dropped us off at the train station, which is just the central parking lot where the buses all stop. Then we did about a 10-minute walk where Janet dropped us off at the Center of Miracles, just outside the Leaning Tower, which is surrounded by a beautiful fortress. But make sure you take it in. Like, there's some beautiful flowers on your walk there. All right, so our tour escort, Janet, she's dropped us here at the Center of Miracles. Going past some tourist stands, as she called them. Look at that building right there. That's so cool. And we're making our way to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, because Crystal is going to straighten it out. I told her that she should run to the top and run back down before we have to leave. She has an hour and a half. She said her dress is not capable of doing that. Way to dress for the appropriate conditions. She wore the wrong shoes. But anyway, look at this. This is awesome. There it is, the Leaning Tower. And let me tell you, it is not easy to try and act like you're going to, do the pose where you're trying to hold it up. It's not hard. It's not hard to line each other up. I feel like a lot of marriages get tested by trying to tell each other how to do it. We did good though. Crystal, she did awesome with mine. One take, we were good. And that's how I like my pictures. One take and done. Look at this whole center area. This beautiful grass, beautiful sculptures. This building right here has crazy immersed, just detailed sculptures in it. It's awesome. They all do though, because that's how they did everything back then. Everything was just great. Even the Leaning Tower, it's imperfect, but it's perfect. That's literally how I was told to describe it. It's just, wow. Never thought I'd see something like this in my life. Just read about it in history books in school. Finally found a spot where there isn't sun blinding us. There you go. Just the detail. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Look at that. That is Phenomenal. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, continuing my infatuation with the details, we have walked up closer. We are literally standing in front of it. Just wow. An update, it is still leaning. We have not straightened it out. I don't think we're going to be able to, guys. Wow. So we are heading back to our meeting spot to meet Janet so we can head to Florence. I just want to say shout out Norwegian. They got us here early. This place as we're leaving is packed now. Like all the vendors are open. I mean, it is real busy. So I'm glad we got to take our time, see everything. And we didn't have to like fight any crowds. It was very nice. So as we made our way out from the Leaning Tower into the marketplace, we did a little shopping. There's your trinkets, normal things. And there was a McDonald's. Look at this pastry case they had at the McDonald's. I don't know why, but foreign McDonald's just fascinate me. This was cool. I loved it. Anyway, we left, made our way back the way we came. Awesome mural right there. Made our way back through the streets, another 10-minute walk to get on our motor coach. That was waiting for us here so that we could head to Florence, enjoy more of those scenic views on the way there. Now, one thing that we were told as we made our way through there is we were looking out over the hills. If you look on the hills, you can't really see it here, but there's a white, almost snow-looking substance on the hills. That is the Carrara marble that is known in this region. It's everywhere, and it is awesome. We made our way into Florence. After we got to Florence, we parked. It was told to us it would be about another 10-minute walk to where we were going. Truly, guys, just so you know, it was probably a 20-minute walk, and if you aren't really good with walking, this might not be the excursion for you because the whole day is walking, and it's on cobblestone. Now, Janet was leading us to the Piazza del Duomo. This is the square you see here. It was beautiful. Loved it so much, but it's almost lunchtime. I'm starving. So let's head out. Let's go eat. So we found a little restaurant here off the square where they dropped us off called Casa Toscana, the House of Tuscany. And we are just sitting here. There's Crystal with her fan. We're just sitting here in the alley. Gonna have some fresh pasta, some wine, all the carbs. Okay, so we asked our waiter for a fruity red wine, and that is what we got. We have a fresh caprese and some fresh bruschetta and a bag of bread. What a meal already. All right, there is my carbonara I got with homemade pasta and an egg cream sauce. And then Crystal got a traditional ravioli with black truffle sauce. Smells amazing, looks amazing. We're gonna go eat some homemade pasta. Okay, I got the tiramisu because I'm a sucker for tiramisu anywhere we go, and I have to get it in Italy. I took one bite. It's the best I've ever had. Literally the best I've ever had. Casa Toscana, very good, very good. Now, it might be where all the tour groups come. We're 90% sure it's where they all come because everybody's had a tour sticker on. But it's delicious, it's still homemade, and it's all right here in Italy. I can't complain, Crystal can't complain. We had good wine, good pasta, and amazing tiramisu. Now let's go. And great service. Now let's go explore Florence. So after lunch, we made our way out into the streets and started just sightseeing and using the map which Janet gave us. Made it super easy to find everything we wanted to see. Everything was within walking distance. And like I said, this was a lot of walking on this tour. It was a 10.5-hour excursion. Majority of it is walking. So we made our way to the Piazza della Signoria, which is the Square of Statues, where you can find this Fountain of Neptune, the replica of David, and many, many, many more statues. I mean, tons of statues everywhere you looked. So we made our way to the open air statue park here in Florence. We have a replica of David here. But I mean, look at all these statues. All of them over there. David's the only replica. The rest of them are all originals. These squares are so cool. I mean, in addition to like shopping and eating and all that, there's just history that I could never find in the States here. And that's what I came to Europe for, was to see all this history. All those statues obviously are getting refurbished, but they have all kinds of stuff about them over there on the walls. Love it. So cool. Okay, my wife is way braver than I am because I told her I'll film it from way back here. I ain't going up there. She did. We tipped the guy. I always tell you, make sure you tip street performers if you're going to use them for content. So right there, you have a famous bridge named Ponte Vecchio. And it overlays this river right here, which I cannot remember the name of the river. I will put it in right here. This is the same river which we saw in Pisa. And it's the same water. Connects Florence and Pisa. Just look at the buildings right off the river. That's a bridge. Like, literally all those homes are built on a bridge. It's crazy. The architecture here is something just to behold on itself, especially for how my brain's wired. I can't get over it. All right, so we are kind of wrapping up here in Florence and Pisa, waiting for our group and our tour guide. We got like 20 minutes before everybody comes back. But Crystal found something at the Pinocchio store. And if you didn't know, Florence and Pisa is the home of Pinocchio. I just dropped one of my lenses, so sorry. Anyway, let me show you what Crystal found.
I found a little Pinocchio ornament. And it's like an old school wooden ornament like my grandparents used to have. Isn't it cute?
And now it is time for us to make our way onto the bus. We got to exit from the north. We entered from the south, so we got to see a completely different part of Florence that we did not get to see on our way in. I'm going to be honest with you guys, it was like an average temperature of 103 degrees while we were in Florence, and I was ready to get on the bus. We had over 4.5 hours to spend walking around Florence, seeing all the different sights. I loved it. It was great, but I'm being honest, it was hot, and it's really tough sometimes to find water in Florence. So I probably wasn't hydrated especially great, but that's okay. I still had a great time. As you see here, we pulled up on this beautiful hill here to overlook Florence. The sights were amazing, as I've said all video. The architecture, the history, everything is just wonderful here. Cannot wait to go back someday. Hopefully do it all over again, see even more things, as there's so much we did not see on this trip in Florence and Pisa. So we've made it back to the ship. About an hour and a half bus ride from Florence. Made it back. I just got out of the shower, feeling great, feeling refreshed after a hot day. It was well over 100, but look at this. Batman Robin just arrived. I literally looked out the balcony door and I told Crystal, she was doing her makeup, I said, you have to move. Batman's here. So here we are, watching Batman doc. How funny is that? Oh, they just kicked on the music from upstairs. We're like a deck below the buffet and the upper deck pool area. Oh man. Batman and Robin. So we haven't been there yet. We've only been there for ports when we check in at the theater. This is Epic Theater, all the way at the front of deck 6. We have not gone to a show yet. Burn the Floor was last night. They have the Epic Beatles show, which was the first night. They're doing those all again another night, so we'll probably go on those nights. Deal or No Deal, I know they played yesterday. And then tonight there is like a duo that is doing some shows. So anyway, this is a theater. We've just been so tired from all of our port adventures and jet lag that we've been going to bed super early. All right, tonight we're just kind of keeping it easy, and we are trying out one of the complimentary choices here at O'Sheehan's Pub. It's an Irish pub, and the whole menu is included, all the food. We have the drink package, so all the drinks, obviously. So let's go try O'Sheehan's. All right, so here at O'Sheehan's, they have a full bar, and they have, supposedly these chicken wings are amazing. That's what all our friends told us. They got them yesterday, so we're doing it now. We got chicken wings, artichoke dip, loaded nachos. We'll go from there. But again, this is complimentary. You can get all this stuff right here. And there's 3 pages of stuff. I mean, hold on. You got hot dogs, you got sandwiches, you got burgers. On the backside, I think there's fish and chips. Yep, fish and chips. You got asada, you got fettuccine carbonara, and dessert. I mean, and like I said, this is all included, so it's a different option from the dining room because we didn't really feel like going to the dining room tonight after being hot and sweaty all day. All right, so there's my buffalo wings. Spinach artichoke dip for Crystal. Crystal got sweet chili wings. And then the waitress said we had to try the nachos, so there's those. All right. How's the nachos? They're good. She said they're good. Okay. All right, so obviously I am in my office and not on the Norwegian Epic. Yeah, this is another thing, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a different type of video because this was a 12-hour day. I mean, we got up at 6 a.m. and we got back on the ship, I think, at like 6:15. So just over 12 hours. And it was such a fun day. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but it was just hot and long and sweaty. And it was one of those days where you're just exhausted. And me personally, I had not adjusted to jet lag. So after O'Sheehan's, which was a great meal, one of the top things I loved about Norwegian was that this was a complimentary offering to the main dining room, because I didn't want to go sit through a 2-hour dinner or an hour dinner or anything like that at the main dining room. I just wanted some wings, some nachos, a Diet Coke, and go hang out with our friends, have a couple drinks, and go to bed. And that's what we did. I think, I'm kind of embarrassed to say, but I think we were in bed by like 8:30 that night. We were both just so tired. But it was such a fun day. There was so much to see, so much to do. And like I said, I want to go back. I hope we get the chance to go back someday because there's so much we didn't get to see that our friends who did something completely different saw. But I hope to go back, hope to have fun. Hope the video came across with what all we got to see. Because I mean, we saw century-old things in this video, and it was so much fun. I couldn't wait to share it with you. I couldn't wait to make this video. But you know, I can't say it enough. I said it in the video. It's awesome. The history, the architecture, everything. It's just so great. So great. But anyway, that is going to do it. Thank you all so much for stopping by and watching the video today. If you haven't done so already, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and ring that bell icon so you're notified whenever we release new videos. But most importantly, thank you all so much for stopping by. And for the love of the mouse, never forget that it all started with a mouse.
We